Welcome back to Show Em The Dore, the podcast with the most sunburns per capita. My name's Christopher Conway. This is my amazing co-host, Willem Azzinnaro.
I'm pale.
He's so burnt. He's like, he was putting on like pajamas last night, and I look at him and I was like, I thought it was Bob the Tomato from VeggieTales. It was really rough. I was like, Bob, what are you doing in my house? It was... See, that's
Larry
clever.
the Lobster.
I'm
yes.
like, oh God. I'm like, my eyes. That's maybe a really bad joke. Today, we have...
MacArthur like, oh, red!
He's like, call me! If you guys haven't
Animal Farm going crazy.
If you guys haven't seen Sam O'Dell Academy videos, if you have, you'll get that reference. My name is Christopher Conway. I know I said that a second ago, but today we are actually going to talk about the sports that have happened this semester. We didn't talk about that because you had Sasha on last week. Amazing guest. Watch the video. It's going to be roughly here. There's going to be a link. It might say like, watch Sasha now, if I remember to do that in the editing process. Normally I say something like, when the card is done after 10 seconds, there will be a subscribe card also here. And I think last week it said like, sub, I want to feed my family or something. But just subscribe. Why not? It's free. It helps us out. I want to get to 100 subscribers because that would be like a pretty big milestone, I think.
That's just cool.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like a cool thing to, I mean, the cool kids are doing it. Like, you know, everybody, you know, if your friends subscribe to Show Em The Dore, wouldn't you? Tell your parents, get on your cat's Instagram and follow us at Show Em The Dore. Twitter also at Show Em The Dore. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about actual Vanderbilt sports this episode. What about you, Willem?
Yeah.
Any more than that?
Yeah. One thing that Chris and I would like to bring into this episode for absolutely no reason, simply because I forgot about it until just now.
Sure.
I just did a research study. Chris did as well.
Oh, yes.
And I took a little MRI thing, and I got pictures of my brain.
I also got pictures of my brain.
I have one. So Chris and I are going to give you I haven't seen it yet. We're going to give you a live reaction of my brain images.
Also,
because this is the content that you come for.
While he's doing that, I'm going to talk and bring up my brain images, and I want to compare Willem and I's brain. We might...
Good.
If we send... I think it'd be funny is if I put both of our brain, like the 3D renderings, like on the screen. Be like, guess whose brain is whose?
Little Instagram poll?
Yeah. Whose brain is whose?
Screenshot that and send it to me. That's the Instagram poll for sure.
All right, but I can't show you guys. Dude, also... I'm going to rant a little bit about MRIs. They did me so dirty because, like, you know, you don't see anything about, like, hair. And, like, you have, like, a really, really terrible position in the MRI for, like, the picture. So I have a picture of me that's, like, this side of my face, but, like, from, like, right here. And I look, like, a little bit like Homer Simpson on the MRI, but, like, bigger. And I was like, man... I'm garbage. And but thankfully the 3D rendering had plenty of wrinkles.
Yeah, he knows things. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Okay.
We're about to live look at Willem's brain. Oh my gosh, look at all that cerebral torque.
Yeah, it actually is turned pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what those things
Dude, your brain is so long.
Why oh my gosh, that my lips.
Yeah. That's
okay, so I realize what the thing is. It's our heads are tilted back.
Yeah.
But from this angle, it just looks like our chins look stupid.
It looks like it's just like so much depth here.
I don't know the brain because I'm a psychology student, so I don't need to know the brain.
Yeah,
what's that white thing and why is it so white?
Cerebellum.
Who's Sarah?
Oh my.
Why it look like that? Oh my gosh. Hey, what?
Your brain is not as pretty as mine.
Oh my gosh. Why does my brain look like that?
My brain is like nice and nice.
Hold on.
Wait, we're giving them hints. They're like, yeah, we've submitted these to a radiologist for diagnosis. He has stage 4. He actually... No, we're not going to give too much information because we do have an Instagram poll coming up about our brains. But...
Did you send me your picture?
I haven't sent it to you.
Okay, send it to me right now. I'll load it.
You're not going to do it during the pod.
I'll do it later.
Okay, I'm like, please. Okay, let me rephrase. Please don't do it during the pod. We have stuff to talk about.
Okay, so now I have 2 images of 2 brains.
Zombies go crazy.
For our zombie audience.
Yeah, for our zombie audience.
Keep it together, boys.
This is what we got you for.
Wow, man, that's almost disappointing. I feel better about myself
Willem disappointed about his brain pick. Didn't have that on my bingo card.
That's an episode title.
Willem disappointed about his brain pick?
Yes.
It's gonna be you ups and brain picks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna add that to like any dating profile I have. It's just a picture of my brain. That'd be so funny.
I'm gonna use this as my Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram
Profile picture.
It's just the
My
brain.
weird looking brain.
No, stop saying it's weird. Stop saying because who's gonna poll? Are we gonna have who's Willem's brain, option 1 or option 2, or like how are we gonna do it? How are you gonna do the poll?
I'm gonna have one and then the next.
Okay.
And it's Chris's brain, Willem's brain, Chris's brain, Willem's brain.
Got it.
And hopefully they don't.
Dude, my brain is so wrinkly.
It's nice and wrinkly. Mine is too.
It is nice and wrinkled.
It's nice.
Your frontal lobe is just. I'm just kidding. So we do have sports to talk about. Do we have any other housekeeping stuff?
No.
I don't think we do. We are super excited for this season. We've been DMing a lot of people. We hopefully will get some guests on in the next few weeks. We just want to have an episode, though, with just Willem and I to really, set the foundations for the year. Because, I think in episodes past, we've done, like, previews for stuff in terms of our seasons. We've, recapped the weeks that we've, missed. And we haven't had that this season because of the fact that we had Sasha on, which was a great episode again. Please watch it. She's great. Also, go to women's basketball games because you could see at least 2 people that's come on our podcast and hopefully more in the future if they're interested. We haven't reached out to a lot more women's basketball players. We need to.
We do.
Perhaps we'll look into that after this episode.
Yeah.
But I think we should start with football, being that it is the one that is currently going on.
Good start.
We have played 3 games.
How many?
And the first game was versus Hawaii in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Did you watch any of that game? Oh, no.
He's smart. Brain got more wrinkly.
My brain is so wrinkled.
But...
Are these prescription?
No.
Oh.
They're blue light.
They're just really dirty.
Yes. They're also Rhea's from years past.
These are Rhea's?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember she gave me a bunch of stuff to carry for her? I put it in the storage unit.
Cool.
But I didn't see any of the Hawaii game. I was going to go, but I was like, nah.
Yeah,
And then it got postponed so much that I'm like, I'm going to sleep instead of watching it.
That makes sense. I did get postponed until like 8:30, and Lord knows you have the bedtime of a 90-year-old.
Hey.
That's not true, actually. But
yeah, I was going to say, I am not healthy.
But... Okay.
Don't speak good on my name. I don't want people to think that I'm better than I am. The expectation is low, and I like it that way. That was my my issue with medication. Is I'm like, what if people start expecting stuff of me? I can't handle this. No. The bar was so low.
You have problems. No wonder you had to get medicated.
Yeah.
Football.
Yes.
Hawaii. So we go into this game with absolutely sky-high expectations because we beat the Hawaii team like 63-10 last year. I don't know that movie.
You know Sky High?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
I
We gotta watch it.
I don't know movies very well.
What are you doing tonight? We gonna watch
Is that
Sky
like
High?
grammatically correct? I
I
don't know movies very well. Is that?
don't.
Not the
I
point.
don't very well know movies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That feels wrong.
Sounds better.
I don't think that does.
You know what feels? Never mind.
We beat them 63-10 on the island last year. And
Which
so,
island?
Oahu.
Really?
Yep. But they came to Nashville this year. We got weather delayed, which kind of sucked.
Happens.
And the game started off about as well as you could have asked for. It was, they got the ball first. Our defense got a 3-and-out. They shanked the punt about 10 yards. And then we ran like a 23-yard touchdown with Patrick Smith on like our second play.
Yeah, let's bear in mind here, Hawaii's terrible.
Hawaii is not very good at
They
football.
aren't great at football at all. And then last year, from last year to this year, they lost pretty much everyone who can play the game of football.
They did get a competent coach, though.
That's true and that's new. However, you're playing with me and
They have some
my
okay
buddies.
players.
You know?
Yeah, they lost a lot on defense.
Me and all my friends play for Hawaii.
Yeah, probably.
That's my next album.
Is that the whole title? Me and all my friends play for Hawaii?
And then in parentheses, we're going to lose to Vanderbilt, but not by as much as we did last year. It's like a Panic at the Disco song.
Yeah. I thought that was more of a Fall Out Boy
That's
thing.
it, yeah.
Okay.
I mix those two up because I believe they're the same thing.
I would agree with that. I would say.
Argue with me in the comments.
Are you a Fall Out Boy or Panic at the Disco? Doesn't matter. They're same people.
What kind of emo are you?
Yeah.
Or are you more along the lines of like a, what are they called?
Yeah, name it.
No, the people that...
I was never emo. I don't know.
Sing, Blink-182.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
I feel like Blink-182 and like Paramore deserve in like the same kind of category.
Yes, because they're not like the classic emo of like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. It's more of like a...
Like more poppy.
Yeah, poppy emo, where it's like you're not mad at society as much as other people.
Yeah, also the people that wrote Semi-Charmed Life.
Oh, Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind.
I saw them in concert.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know any other song but...
Yes, Jumper.
Oh, okay, I know that song.
That one.
I don't know that.
Deep Inside of...
I like how you said that one, like I knew that was a song, but imagine
Deep
you're just
Inside
like,
of You.
that one. Man, we're getting way off track.
There's a better song, like one of my favorites that I...
Willem's a big Third Eye Blind guy, I did not know.
I listened to a ton of their music before the show.
Really?
I went with Ethan Lilly and Tanner David. Because Tanner
Interesting
David had
group.
tickets.
Okay.
We all live in Nashville, so that's why we went.
Oh, okay. Ethan Lilly lives in Nashville?
Ethan lives in... He went to MBA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. But,
So, Hawaii. It's okay. We can...
No, but I want to listen to it later because it's a good one.
Okay, we can talk about
Anyways, Hawaii.
Hawaii. So it starts off...
expectations are high. We should
Expectations
win.
are high. In the first, 2 minutes of the game, peak.
We're up there. We're meeting them.
And so then, their second drive, we also have them stall early. And then, we get it back on offense, and we kind of didn't do very well. And I was like, whatever.
Happens.
First drive kind of jitters. That's a real drive. That isn't at, their 20-yard line.
Yeah.
They go down and score. And I'm like, well...
That's new.
I'm like, that... I mean, the thing is what happened in last year's game versus Hawaii is it was only 21-14 at halftime. We then just came out and had a 35-point third quarter. And so it looked really bad, but Hawaii, they were pretty competitive going into halftime.
That's true.
And so I was like, that's pretty much the same as last year. Because it made it a lot better considering that on the ensuing kickoff, Jaden McGowan took it 96 yards for a touchdown. And I was like, okay, we have better athletes. We're the better team. We're going to win this game. And so it's 14-7. I'm hype. We're continuing on. We're actually starting to build a little bit of a lead here. I think we get it up to 21-7. And then they have a 4th and 6 at they're at our 45-yard line. It's really near midfield. And at this point, I'm like, we had built up some momentum. We had just scored 2 touchdowns. It's 21-7. And I'm like, they're going to punt. If we score again, that's pretty much a nail in the coffin. They go for it because I think their coach was really like, we don't got nothing to lose. Everyone expects us to lose by about 50.
That's so true.
So might as well just go for every 4th down there's ever been.
That's really my mentality.
It's 4th and 6 from the 50-yard line. And I see their quarterback. His last name is Schrager. I don't know why I want to say Peter Schrager, but I don't think so. Man unloads a 55-yard dime to the end zone. And now it's 21-14. They get a bunch of momentum. And I'm sitting here how are we going to allow that to happen on a absolute 4th and 6th? Momentum would be completely with us. They would be completely demoralized. It would have been so great. And it felt like Hawaii got all those breaks. Except throughout the game, there was a bunch of times where I feel like Vanderbilt really could have put it away. And they just chose not to. Well, not that they chose not to. They just,
Interesting choice.
yeah, it was...
Coach Lee is
Coach Lee's like, you know,
draw them up a touchdown.
Coach Lee's like,
Throw
you
this
know,
paper
with
airplane of a good play
with
to their
all of the
team.
tragedy that's occurred in Hawaii recently, we really want to keep them in
need
the
it more
game.
than us.
Yeah. No, but like that being said, that there was like some breaks that went our way. Like for instance, they got it down on like the 1 yard line, and then they immediately threw a pick, and so you know that could have, you know, changed a lot.
Big.
But Dericky Wright is him.
Rick.
He leads us in interceptions right now with 2. So good for him. Shout out to Dericky Wright. I've DM'd you. Please respond.
God's coming.
Yeah. But, you know, then it got to the third quarter, and I was really expecting the same kind of halftime adjustments. You know, we are an SEC team where we are starting to get SEC talent in the trenches. Not to say that we have, like, you know, one of the best offensive and defensive lines in Power 5, because right now in terms of production, we don't, though I think that they have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And I think as we get into the next couple games, we've shown a little bit of that potential. But we are definitely better than Hawaii's offensive defensive line, who I think their heaviest person on their D-line was like 290 pounds, and our average offensive lineman weighs like 330. Like they were a much smaller line, which is also why the fact that I think we ran the ball for like 36 rushing yards in the game, like that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Especially considering like 20 of them were on the first rush from Patrick Smith. We had a rough time running the ball, which I thought was really odd. Mm-hmm. Especially because last year we had such a good time running the ball with Ray Davis and Mike Wright.
A really nice part of our offense. Mm-hmm. So it's weird to see against a poor defense.
It's like,
aside from the one good one, we got like 10 yards on the ground?
Yeah.
Whole game?
Yeah. It feels like the strength on our offense has kind of switched. Where like, it was a little bit because of Mike Wright's inability to throw consistently. Not to say that, you know, that just wasn't his game.
Yeah.
He's a running quarterback, and he could throw, you know, in the limited like range he had pretty well, but he's not an NFL passer. AJ Swan is much more of an NFL passer.
Yeah.
But now it feels like we're a passing offense.
Which is new.
Which is very new.
Not that it's bad,
No.
and not that it's entirely way better, but it's new.
I argue that, I mean, in today's football, I think you have to be a passing offense to win. Overrunning anyway.
Look at the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Look at their running back
I think
market.
the NFL and
Why do running backs not get paid like they do?
real, but I think
don't win
I think you
games
can
as much as they
you can center an offense around a running back in NCAA.
Yeah. I'd say
Like
so.
like for instance, when Alabama had Derrick Henry 6 years ago or whatever, maybe longer than that at this point. I think it was like 2016.
Well, they
Wow.
had Derrick Henry and 5 other first-round running backs on the team.
Well, sure, but he was the primary running back his junior year. But like for instance, he won the Heisman, and Alabama essentially were just like, we're gonna hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and he's gonna go crazy, and he did.
Yeah.
Like before he got injured, Michigan had a running back, Blake Corum, last year, and he was essentially their whole offense. And I think Michigan would have done a lot better against Georgia had he been healthy. He got hurt before the. But like, you can do that more in NCAA.
Yeah, but conventionally winning teams,
it is easier to win.
they pass the ball.
It is easier to win as a passing offense, I think, than a running offense. And I think that we're transitioning to that because we have better weapons. You know, our offensive line pass blocks better than they have in the past 5 years. We have a passer that I think can make all the NFL throws, and especially once AJ Swan gets a little bit more experience and reads the field a little bit better, like I think he could be a top quarterback in the SEC.
Because he's still played just how many games?
7, maybe. Yeah. And like, you know, when you're a freshman, some of his games are against like Alabama and Georgia. Like, you know, like that's not you're not with what Vanderbilt's line has been and weapons has been in the past. You know, when you play somebody against Georgia, it's, are you going to score at all? And with these, like the Georgia's defense last year, like it was, and the year before, you know, I don't know how much I'm going to count that as a start. And so,
what kind of reps are you actually getting?
Yeah, like you're getting reps against NFL defense.
You're getting the old throw it out of bounds real quick.
Yeah, it's, oh no, I have 4 first rounders flying at my face in 2 seconds. With that being said, AJ Swan can make every pass in the book. He has the arm strength. He has the touch. It's, can he do it consistently, and can he do it as accurately as he needs to?
Yeah.
The second game was against Alabama A&M. There isn't much to say about this game except for the fact that we started really poorly.
Yep.
Like, we looked discombobulated in every aspect. Our defense is a lot more stable than our offense right now. Our defense has very clear strengths and weaknesses in the sense that we, before the Wake Forest game anyway, we tackle really well, we run defend very well, and we're very opportunistic as a defense. Yeah. Like, if there is a potential interception, it seems like we get it. With that being said, we lack a little bit of speed, it seems, in the secondary, which allows us to have big plays on a relatively frequent basis.
Yeah.
I think that will get better, especially as a lot of our young corners get experience.
Yep.
I know that we for instance, I think we switched Jalen Mahoney's position to safety this year.
Oh.
Because we were trying to get our 5 best DBs on the field at one time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't know if that's going to stay. I know he is not, like, he doesn't run like a 4-2. He doesn't run like a 4-3, I don't even think. I think he's probably closer to the 4-5-ish range. And when you play against the speedsters and the SEC, like, you're probably going to get burnt a couple times. No. What was that? Who was that guy on the Titans that I used to clown?
That not him?
No, Janoris Jenkins was fine.
Oh.
It was
It's the
it was the
guy.
guy. Yeah, it was the guy who played on the Texans. Who I was like, I need him off the team immediately. I'd rather bring an undrafted free agent rookie.
I don't
remember his name, but oh my gosh, no, but that isn't Jalen Mahoney. Okay. But we just get burnt a few times, and some of that I'm sure is just an experience and some technique issues, and I'm sure some of it's communication issues. Yeah. But I think that, like, we have the potential to grow as a pass defense.
Yeah.
But, like, in general, our defense is relatively stable in their performance. I haven't seen a lot of fluctuation over the 3 weeks. Our offense, however, has extreme fluctuation. And I really think it starts with A.J. Swan. Yeah. And that's, again, just because he's essentially a freshman, learning on the fly. Yeah. Because sometimes I think his most elite trait is his pocket presence. Yeah. I know I've talked about this with you before, but, like, I'll see, our left tackle get beat on, like, a random play. And I think he does a great job of just slightly shuffling forward, letting the defender fly by him behind him, and keeping his eyes downfield and, keeping the play alive. Yeah. He does an amazing job.
And that's big, especially for a young guy.
Yes.
Who's getting rushed by, at times, who was the dude that played at Georgia last year? What's his name? Eagles guy.
Oh, like Jordan Davis?
No, after him.
Weird name. Jalen Carter?
Jalen Carter.
Yep.
Imagine you got Jalen Carter coming at you.
Middle,
what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not doing anything. And he's out there like, okay, I'm making a play. I'm still making a play. I'm still making a play, even though,
yeah.
That's big.
I mean, as
a young guy,
a lot of even NFL quarterbacks, like, if they see somebody flying in their face, they're like, I gotta go.
Look at every guy that's ever played for the Tennessee Titans.
Chill.
Marcus Mariota's whole game is, gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I miss Marcus. Not because he was good, but, like, I miss Marcus. He's a good guy. He had a kid recently.
Yeah, really?
Yep. He stepped away from football for a little bit because he had a kid.
Nice.
And
he plays
for the Eagles.
The Eagles?
He's their backup quarterback.
Wow.
I mean, he's just a worse Jalen Hurts.
That makes sense.
In, like, every way.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of guys.
But I even mean, like there's nothing that... I think that they have the same proportion of what they're good at to what they're bad at. It's just all Marcus's are, like, scaled down. He's about, like, 50% of Jalen Hurts.
You just take those stats and just...
Yeah, but it's the exact proportion.
Like
yeah, exactly. With that being said, like... So the first half against Alabama and A&M, I think we went into halftime 12-5 against an FCS team, like a literal D2 team, and not even like a good one at that.
How do you 12-5?
5? We got a safety.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We blocked a kick out of safety. Our special teams has also been very good.
Hold on, explain to me how that results in a safety.
So punt, kick, hands in front, block, goes out the back of the end zone, safety.
because it's down. That makes sense.
I was actually, I think I was watching it with Carter, and we were just sitting there talking, and I said, I saw the guy come free, and I said, oh, that's going to be a block kick for a safety. And then it was a block kick for a safety. She was like, you just said that. And I'm like, uh-huh. I was like, uh-huh. I mean, they didn't block him. And we have, like, really fast guys. I only thought might be wrong that he might get to the ball and make it a touchdown, but he didn't.
That'd be cool. Happens, you know?
Yeah, so we're up 12-5. No, I'm looking it up. I might be wrong on that.
We did score that safety.
It might have not been. It might have been like 12-3.
Yeah, because
there shouldn't have been 2 safeties.
Yeah.
Box score. It was 12-3.
Yeah. I forgot that was the final score.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to halftime 12-3, and I'm sitting here like we could be the worst team I've ever seen in my whole life.
Quite possibly.
You know, the classic football fan overreaction after seeing a quarter of play.
Happens.
Yeah, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
But then also, never mind, we'll get to that in a second. And then second half comes out, and we look like we should have looked the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I think we ended up winning 47-13, meaning in the second half, we outscored them 31-10.
One of the biggest things I've noticed, not only with football, with most of the sports that we've gotten new coaches in, is halftime adjustments have been vastly more successful than anything we've seen before. With, be it Jerry Stackhouse or Clark Lee, they're both very capable of seeing, hey, we didn't do great. Let's do something
Let's do better.
You know, like a thing that you would expect any good coach to do. We hadn't been able to do that much before.
No.
And now we can go out there and have these like big third quarters or big second halves because they can look and say, hey, let's understand what's happening here and play some better football. And that's led to success.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the Wake Forest game.
Tricky.
We lost the Wake Forest game. We lost 36-20.
Happens.
However, it was a loss that I think, while frustrating, I think the reason it's frustrating is because we very easily could have won that game. For instance, we get the ball. It's not just because it's Wake Forest, because like we historically
And
have
a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I said we should have won.
Yeah.
But it's a Power 5 team.
That's true.
And a decent Power 5 team at that.
In Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
But like, so the first drive, and most of the first quarter, I would argue, we had a kind of rough outing from our offense. The first drive, handoff, maybe handoff, short throw, 3rd and 4. And I'm like, that's a manageable third down. AJ Swan takes a snap. He has Jaden McGowan running a slot fade from the field side of the ball. And I'm like, that's a good option because he has a lot of field that he can throw to. But when you throw a fade route in football, you throw it to the sideline because as the receiver is fading towards the sideline, you want to throw it to away from the defender, closer to where the wide receiver is running, so that he can essentially run under it using the sideline as like protection.
You throw it to where he's going.
Well, sure, but yeah, but like it's more about protection from defenders.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think Wake Forest split into a too-high safety look, meaning that, like, he's probably going to be at least semi-covered.
Yeah, you've got a safety or a DB on your left-hand side.
Yeah.
So the quarterback throws it to your right-hand side so you can make a better play on the ball.
Right.
Typically, in theory.
In this specific instance, yes. So you see Jaden McGowan on this slot fade. He's not super open, but you throw it up to your playmakers, and I think
he's fast, so he can get a little separation.
And I think that's not a terrible read initially by AJ Swan. His ball placement was atrocious on this play. He threw the ball inside as if it were a skinny post, and you just can't do that because he essentially is double covered. But if you're double covered on a slot fade, it doesn't really matter because if you place the ball on the outside shoulder of the receiver towards
There's
the
no defender
sideline,
there.
there's no defender.
There's the sideline.
I mean, you have to make it a pretty good throw for it to be like a probable pass. But
yeah. But when it's you, the defender, and then your guy,
like,
you don't throw it straight to him because the defender's right in the middle.
You can't throw it inside because that's where the safety
where
help
the
is
defender
coming
is.
from. Like, you just like that's like rule 1 of slot phase.
That just makes
sense. You can't
don't
leave
throw
it
where the defender is.
It is so much better to throw it, like, essentially throw it away by hitting over the sideline than inside because one's an incomplete pass. We punt on 3rd and 4.
The others, he's taking it.
Yeah, and so it was a terrible interception. 3rd play of the game that they brought back to like the 20. They didn't score a touchdown because our defense is solid.
There you go.
But it was just like oh gosh.
It's one of the little things.
Yeah, it's just like the thing is like I'm sure like he knows that better than I do, of course.
Yeah, he's been playing football his whole life.
Yeah, like
it's in a moment. Do you make the play?
Right, and I think that my thing is it was the right read, and that's what I'm taking from
He
this.
He chose. He knows what he's doing.
I mean, I haven't looked at the all 22 films, so I don't know if maybe there was somebody wide open. But he took I like the idea of even if it was maybe it was Will Shepherd. The point is one of our weapons on a slot fade on 3rd down. Like I'm taking that throw.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with the decision making. It was just the ball placement that was wrong.
That's my entire retro bowl strategy.
What?
Is get a guy down the field on either
throw the ball down
or something else, and then just toss it out there for him.
Lead
it out there a little so the defender's like
a retro bowl. Shout out.
This is how I know football.
Yeah,
legitimately.
if Willem,
do it.
No. So anyway, it was just a bad play, and it was the mark of our offense. Like I was like, we can only go as far as Swan takes us.
Yep.
And I have the belief that Swan can take us very, very far. But when he makes throws like that, it hinders our offense greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Will Shepherd talked about that today when he got interviewed by one of the national media. And he said, it's not all on AJ Swan. Some of it is on, us talking about the routes. For all I know, whoever was running that could have been supposed to run a post route, and he threw it really well for it, but then he ran a fade instead. It could have very well been on a wider it could have been on a multitude of things, but what it looked like, obviously all blame goes to a quarterback for an interception.
That's how it goes.
Even if it's not always the quarterback's fault. Anyhow.
Unless it's Kadarius Toney.
Unless you're, Kadarius Toney, Butterhands McGee.
He's just, well, here you go.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That was crazy.
Just like, all right, just greased them up.
Bro thought he put like the glue on the gloves, but in reality it was just pure lard.
Oil?
Yeah. They're like,
I wanted olive oil.
He's sitting here. He's like, wait, this isn't sticky stuff, like the spider tack or whatever. And they're like, Tony, you're supposed to be on the field now. And he's like, well,
I'll be.
It's so funny. I think on the opposite side of what I just described for the offense, there was a drive near halftime that was the best I have ever seen the Vanderbilt offense look. I'm going to pull up the exact drive because I don't want to do it in injustice. But it was like it was a hurry up near halftime. Let me find it. Talk for a second.
So, yes.
Good job,
I'm not
man.
often in situations like this where I just have to step up. And when I do, boy, do I sit down. I'm a sitter. It's what I do. When I have to stand, I think, how long do I have to stand for, I got some legs on me. You've seen my calves.
Okay. You can stop now. God, man. So it took 1 minute and 40 seconds, and it was at 3 minutes left in the second quarter. And we were at this point down 17-7.
Oh.
So we really needed something.
That's big, yeah.
Starts off, Cedric Alexander rushed for 5 yards. And I'm like, that's a good first down rush.
Yep.
And this is just to be clear, this is immediately after it had been 3 touchdowns in a row. So not terrible. But it was rush for 5 yards. A different guy rushed for 12 yards, who I don't even know, actually. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, that's a good couple, foundations of a drive. A.J. Swan passed to Landon Humphreys for 48 yards.
Oh!
And it was a dot of a pass. Like, it was as perfect as you could throw it. Caught him in stride, got some yards after catch. We really needed it. And then it was immediately hurry up, Will Shepherd touchdown, like 10-yard touchdown.
Let's go.
There was not a single play in that drive of like 4 plays or whatever that went for less than 5 yards. 3 of them went for 10 plus.
Yeah.
It was just there were 2 rushes, 2 passes.
Yep.
All of them were productive.
Yeah.
All of them were exactly what we were looking for. There was precision. There was command.
Mm-hmm. Efficient runs, precise passes, the right plays called, the right plays executed. Right way.
It was just like
good football.
I remember like looking up and being like, okay, we really need something here. And then it was immediate of just run, pass, end of drive.
You do the right thing and you get it done within a minute.
Yeah, and I mean it was a minute 40.
That's success.
Like that's a 2-minute drive that was insane.
Yeah.
And
because not that my math is any way great, but that's what 60, 70 yards.
It was 75.
75 yards.
It was a touchback.
Yeah.
Like it was off a touch, but you got one.
Yeah, I get you.
Like it was just a beautiful drive that I think is a little preview of what our offense can do.
Yeah.
Like Landon Humphreys, who I had no idea who he was before the season. Sorry, I come on
Apologies
the pod, please. Because I don't think he was like a highly touted recruit.
No.
He's on PFF's all like highest rated team this year. This week rather.
Really?
Yeah, because he apparently had
What's he, a sophomore?
I think he might be a freshman.
Oh.
I can look, but he went absolutely. I think he had like over 100 yards receiving this year. Yeah, he is I guess he might be a sophomore. No, he's a freshman.
There we go. For him.
Yeah, like from Nashville as well.
How many yards did he get?
In this game he had 4 receptions for 109 yards.
Well, good for him. 4?
4
for 109.
Yeah. In fairness,
My
Will Shepherd had
says
8 for 87.
It's 20. Yeah.
Wow. Like we have weapons. We have him, Will Shepherd, Jaden McGowan,
and what's his name? Q.
Yeah, and Quincy Skinner.
Yep.
We haven't really been using Quincy Skinner very much.
But he's good.
He is. We've been throwing the ball more to tight end Justin Ball, like a lot more than I expected.
Junior. Yeah.
Whenever we had what was our tight end a couple years ago?
Bersnahan?
Yeah. We didn't use tight ends very much.
No, he was just there to block.
Yeah, but like I feel like this year we've been really implementing a lot more tight end usage.
Well, when you're throwing more, it's nice to throw it to a tight end,
Yeah, but it feels more like a pro-style offense.
I like a pro-style offense.
I think it can be very effective. I know some Vandy people that were on Twitter like complaining about the season were like, we need to be able to run the football, blah 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 blah.
And go for that West Coast offense, baby.
They just are keying in on the fact that A.J. Swan is a bit inexperienced, and so he occasionally makes very wrong.
Well, the whole thing is you see flashes. You see flashes of brilliant. You take this down 75 yards efficiently and great, and then you see a flash of he just threw the worst interception of his career.
Yeah.
It's just,
Can we say that consistently?
You're given a dude who's started 7 ball games at Vanderbilt University.
Yep.
Most of which were against SEC teams. And now you're saying, okay,
before
it's
getting
all
injured.
on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's coming off an injury. He's starting the season. Mike Wright's gone. So, like, we're telling him, hey, buddy, we're committed to you. You don't have a ton of experience. We're playing with, not the most raw talent when you compare it to Alabama or Georgia or people like that.
They have like
and we're
5
saying,
stars on
okay,
the bench.
Go do stuff. And by the way, when you throw picks and stuff, people are gonna be going crazy.
Like
you gotta expect some growing pains for the kid.
The Vandy football team is a lot like the construction that we have on the stadium. It's everybody is super upset because before we were not a good team, the same way that we had a terrible stadium. But they're not willing to also accept that to become a SEC contender, it is going to take multiple years.
There's pain and growth.
Yeah.
The stadium's going to look whack for a little bit, but then it's going to be awesome because we're putting in millions of dollars.
Yes. And I
the
think
quarterback's going to throw some picks, but he's not the same mediocre guy. Not to disrespect anybody. I'm not pointing out anybody. But it's not the same dude who's going to win you 3 games a season, you know?
If that.
If that.
Like, the thing is what Vandy is mad about right now is, like, say we beat UNLV next week, which I think is a very probable thing we do. We're 3-1 going into SEC play. At times, that was...
unheard of.
Yeah, at times, that was,
when we came here, we didn't win a game.
Yeah.
Sure, it's
it was
all
on the
SEC.
SEC schedule. But, like,
the next year...
we lost to ETSU week 1.
Here's the thing. The next year, we won 2 games.
Yeah.
Off of field goals against 2 of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah, we had
Division
game
I,
winnings versus UConn and Colorado State.
Those were literally 2 of the bottom 5 teams, along with us.
Yeah.
Winning 3 out of 4 in the first 4 games, I don't care who it's against, unheard of.
And, like, the thing is we're not playing, like, Alabama A&M is a FCS team. But, like, Hawaii is an okay team who might be doing something in the Mountain West. I think Wake Forest they're a Power 5 team that historically does okay.
We're not beating up on St. Mary's.
Yeah, the thing is we could like, ETSU is a worse team than anybody other than maybe Alabama A&M that we played this year. So
they did have Quay Holmes, though.
Oh, I love that man.
I like his grandma.
I hope he does well. Yeah, we talked about that on the pod. I wonder where he went. Where he's doing right now.
Not going pro. He was trying really hard, but he didn't.
That's sad because he's a good ball player. Anyway,
he is a good ball player. That's why we lost. Bro, went nuts.
He did. He went crazy. But anyway, that's football. UNLV next week. I envision us winning, and I think we're going to win by more. I think like the line right now is set at us winning by like 3.5.
That's good. That's in Vegas, no?
No, it's here.
Really? It's a home game?
It's a home game.
This Saturday?
Yes. I'm gonna make sure of that.
What time? What's the kickoff?
No, it's at UNLV. I'm sorry.
Why
is it at UNLV? The next week versus Kentucky.
What day is that? The 23rd?
Third. Yeah.
Oh, rats.
Not the point. At UNLV next week. I mean, we should still beat them because they're not a great team.
UNLV.
And I think we are a better team.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that it's only set at 3.5 is a rampant misunderstanding of how Vanderbilt works. I think that we will beat them, I think, by over 14 points. Yeah. At least 10. Especially after last week's loss.
Yeah, people could see like, ooh.
Oh, they lost to Wake Forest.
Lost to Wake Forest with their freshman quarterback and say, I don't know, man, maybe those last few games they won were just against bums.
Yeah.
No, we're still a good ball team.
Yeah, definitely. And I expect us to compete in SEC games as well.
Yeah, who we playing for this to the...
Here, I'll give you the schedule.
Because it's UNLV, that's a win. Kentucky, I think that's a win.
They have a quarterback this year that everybody is going crazy about.
They went crazy about Will Levis.
In fairness, Will Levis was almost a first-round pick.
Yeah, Will Levis is
I think Will Levis is okay. I think the thing is maybe it's because I'm a Titans fan, so I'm more apt to defend Will Levis now. He had a bad season last year. He was also dealing with an insane ankle injury the entire year. He had a terrible offensive line. His best receiver was Wan'Dale Robinson the year before, and he got drafted in the 5th round. And then
he's playing for the University of Kentucky, baby.
Yeah, like
he's not set up well. And his ankle fell off.
Yeah, so Kentucky's played 2 teams, Ball State and Eastern Kentucky. They beat Ball State 44-14, which is that's what they should do.
Yeah, it's Ball State.
Then they beat Eastern Kentucky 28-17.
EKU.
Yeah, so
well, I'll be
a bit up and down. That will be Ray Davis's homecoming game.
Eastern Kentucky is the Vikings.
Okay, not the point. But so I don't know. I think that's
Ray Davis.
Yeah, I think that's a winnable game. Versus Missouri.
That should be a win.
I think that is a winnable game.
Yep.
The thing is like, I'm not at the point where I say the SEC game should be a win. I'm at the point of saying it is a winnable game.
Well, that's the reality of where we're at.
The thing, Missouri has this guy on their team. He's like a 5-star freshman wide receiver, and he looks amazing.
Who's their quarterback, though?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
But so his name is Luther Baden, I think.
Luther Baden?
No, I'm sorry. His name is Luther Burden, the third.
That sounds a little less like Luther Baden. Sounds like he's like the CEO of some company that literally dumps oil straight into ponds.
Real.
Do you know what I mean?
Their quarterback is Cody
he's
Schrader.
the anti-Dawn Dish Soap company.
Oh my gosh. Versus MTSU, Cody Schrader, the quarterback from Missouri, threw 23 times for 84 yards.
23? How many did you complete?
Hold on. They beat MTSU 23-19.
Bro put up the old Joe Burrow performance.
14 of 9. Oh, wait. No, his name's... Oh, I'm sorry. That's their running back.
Oh.
Their quarterback
terrible.
Their quarterback is Brady Cook, who I mean, they still only beat MTSU 23-19. MTSU is a decent team, but not.
They're not good.
Yeah,
it's Middle Tennessee, dude.
I mean, I think that they're probably the 4th best team in Tennessee.
Where are they? Murfreesboro?
Yeah. So I think that's a winnable game. Moving at Florida, I think we're going to win that game.
Oh yeah, you kidding me?
Then we have a bit of a rough stretch with versus number 1 Georgia and
tough.
at number 17 Ole Miss.
That's also tough.
I think that Ole Miss we could beat though.
Yeah, I
think it's a winnable game. Versus Auburn.
They have a lot of chunk plays. Less so without Matt Corral.
Yeah, they have Jackson, Dart, and not as good wide receivers.
Yeah, it was just we were set up poor because Matt Corral was a chunk play quarterback and we're a not chunk play defense.
Yeah, for real. Then at South Carolina, at Tennessee.
At South Carolina, should be a winnable game, but I just don't like South Carolina.
We haven't beaten South Carolina in like a decade.
For some reason, I don't know why they beat people.
I feel like South Carolina.
Does Spencer Rattler still play there?
Yes, South Carolina.
Oh my gosh!
So South Carolina has played 2 games so far. Mm-hmm. They've lost to North Carolina, 31-17.
Okay.
And then they beat Furman 47-21. But let it be clear
like the hall at Vandy where we took Rachel's class.
Let it be clear though that there was a time in which Furman was up 14-17. So yeah.
Furman.
Anyway, I think that I think we could realistically get into a bowl game this year.
Oh yeah, what we just listed, that's what, 7 wins?
I think we are going to go 6-6.
I wouldn't complain about that, man.
I would be happy going 6-6.
What did we go last year? 5-7?
5-7. But I think we have a harder schedule this. The thing is we could realistically beat Kentucky, Missouri, Florida, Auburn, South Carolina. I think that those are the 5 most winnable games on the schedule.
If we win those 5, that's an 8-win season.
That would be insane.
That would be absurd. We're not going to be all 5 of them.
No, definitely not.
But if we take 3 or 4, that's a 6 or 7 win season.
Before the bowl game.
Before a bowl game.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing in the Bush's Baked Beans Bowl.
The Duke Mayo Bowl.
The Duke Mayo Bowl.
And I would
Show Em The Dore Bowl.
I would love to see Clark Lee get some mayo on him after a Duke's Mayo Bowl win.
It's a horrifying thing to say.
Yeah.
It's the old Willem's Dirty Laundry on the Floor Bowl.
It's
actually clean laundry.
The Olive Garden Salad Bowl.
It's the Cheddar's Cheddar Bowl. It's the old...
Are you going to keep making these it's the old bowl?
It's the old White Castle weird gross sandwich bowl. Weird. It's the old Subway 5-week-old meat bowl.
It's the Buddy's Barbecue Bowl.
It's the Buddy.
So that's all the football that we have.
Comment your bowl game name.
Yeah.
Submissions. We'll review them and then
we'll say the funniest one. No. Basketball? Do you have anything on?
That's it.
Okay. To be honest with you guys, I haven't done a ton of research for basketball.
It doesn't start for a while.
Because it doesn't start for another 2.5 months. And we'll have exhibition games relatively soon, I think. I feel like we have an exhibition game against somebody really good. I don't remember who it is. But I'm excited, though, because I know we'll at least have Ezra, Tyren, Lee Dort.
Ezra, Paul, Tyren, Lee Dort.
We have a bunch of transfers.
What's his name? Freshman kid.
Isaiah West.
Isaiah West. He's a sophomore now. Big guy, shoot three.
Nope.
No, played like a pro ball player. Put up like only 10 a game.
Colin Smith.
Colin Smith. C. Smitty.
And transfers.
That's the makings of a good ball team.
We are a tournament team.
That's sounding similar to, like, if we get a piece like Rodney from a couple years ago.
Rodney Chatham.
Rod Chatham. That's a big team.
Chatham?
What's his name?
Chapman? You're making me think it was something weirder than that, but I thought it was Chapman.
Rodney. Chapman. If we get a guy like Rod, or we get a guy like, dare I say, Liam, out of the transfer portal.
Yeah, Rodney Chapman.
We already have. But, like, if one of those guys ends up being like that.
I thought we got, like, a center from the transfer portal.
I believe we did.
Yeah.
I believe he's big.
Yeah. And so, like, I think we have a very good team, and I think that we should...
It's another potential thing, where we're going to lose some weird games early in the season, and people are going to say that we're bums.
The thing is, I don't know if we are.
But then we're going to win big games.
I think that... So, here's why I don't
think that's the nature of Vanderbilt sports, I'll be honest with you.
But here's why I don't think so.
Okay.
Coach Stack went off last season about the net. Because that was what kept us out of the tournament, was our net ranking. Which is inherently flawed in the sense that it takes into account that you're the same team in October that you are in
But
March.
it's consistent. So you do better in the net by not losing to these bum teams that we lost to.
But
so that's a focus, you know?
So here's what Stack had said in his interview, is he said that early in the season, he focuses on, especially when you're winning a game, to get like young guys in, get them experience. Kind of like what you do in football when you're up a bunch. The issue is that when you do that, you don't win by very much.
Yeah.
Because you have all these young guys in. But to him, as long as you get the dub, it doesn't really matter. Granted, we did have a loss to like Grambling or something.
Happens.
Which is just a bad game.
I gramble sometimes.
But he was like going off about how the net was terrible, and I guess we just have to run up the score on people because of that. And I think that because of that interview, it shows a different mindset for what's going to happen this season.
Well,
we're just going to pound these early teams into the ground.
The difference is the focus is no longer winning ball games. The focus is making a tournament team and winning tournament games.
Yeah.
When you're saying stuff like, we have to beat these little teams by a lot, that's because your overall goal isn't just to win games. He's won games before. That's been the goal. The goal now is to be a tournament team that competes and wins tournament games.
Yeah. And
that's one heck of a mindset to shift to.
I agree.
And when we have the pieces like we have,
I also think,
and the coach of Jerry,
I think that our lineup is more set than it has been in the past as well.
Definitely. It's always been questionable.
After losing Scotty 2 years ago, it was a little bit of, well, where's our offense coming from?
Yeah. Like who?
And like, you know, like we thought, okay, Liam and Tyron were going to be good. We didn't realize how good they were going to be. And I don't know if even Stacks, like, he was rotating a lot of guys in. Q was getting a lot more minutes. It was, it was a little bit of a just kind of figuring out who we were at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I think at this season, it is Ezra and Tyron. They are our playmakers.
They're the show.
They are the show.
They're the show.
And I think that, especially with how the state of basketball right now, it's a guard-driven league. Mm-hmm. That is a great thing to have. If Ezra can also like develop a 3-point jumper that's like a 37% shot.
If my boy can shoot like he shot in the last month of the season, he may be the best point guard in the SEC.
The thing is, I don't know how you guard him. Because
the boy goes down in the lane like he's 7 feet tall.
He has like a Kyrie Irving a layup package.
He plays defense like he's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Except 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then if the boy can shoot threes at a reasonably efficient pace, 35%.
If you just have to
guard him out there, he's
done.
getting past you. He's far more efficient in the lane.
He's averaging 20 a game.
He's opening up so much more if he's not alone on the 3-point line like he's been, you know?
If he just, by his percentages, if he forces you to guard his 3-point shot, then he'll average 20 a game.
Yeah, easy.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
It's so good for a team to have a point guard that they know is the point guard.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, I think they're going to struggle early because they don't know who the point guard is yet. They have RJ Nembhard's little brother, Ryan Nembhard from
Florida.
Creighton.
Wow.
RJ went to
Florida.
Or no, Ryan. No, Ryan is RJ. What's the dude's name? Andrew. Andrew Nembhard's from Florida. RJ or Ryan Nembhard, same dude, is from Creighton. It's him or Nolan Hickman, last year's starter, and they haven't decided.
Okay.
That's difficult for a team. When you are in the position of someone like Vanderbilt, where you know Ezra's our point guard.
And Tyron's our second.
Ezra is our point guard. Tyron's at the 2, and when Ezra's out, Tyron's the point guard. And that is good for a team.
I think Paul goes to point guard.
I think Ezra plays, or not Ezra, I think Tyron plays off the ball well enough that he shouldn't be the point guard. I could see him being the point guard because like he can, take the ball up and score. But if Paul Lewis does what he's done late in the season, he's going to be that backup point guard. There's no question. Nobody else is running the point. It's either Paul Lewis or Ezra, and that's really healthy for a team. And it's further healthy for Tyron because he's trying to go pro.
Yeah.
You're not going to be as successful showing off your skill set when you're running the point. If Tyron goes to the NBA, he's not running the point.
No.
He's going to be a 2. He's going to be a 3. If he can...
He can't be a 3. He's 6'3".
He'll probably be... He's 6'4" or so.
Is he?
I think so, yeah. He's a little bit taller.
He's like a prototypical combo guard.
Yeah. He's probably running the 2. It's better for him to show what he would be doing in the league rather than handling the ball. Because that's not his game.
I think he'll be a combo guard in the league, though.
I think he'd be good at that. I'd like to see him in the league.
I would love to see him in the league because I think he's really good.
I think he and Andrew Nembhard are actually pretty similar players.
I think
Andrew's kind of going nuts for the Pacers.
I think he's a lot like Jordan Bone.
I like Jordan Bone. Jordan Bone wasn't a pro player.
No,
but I liked him. He could ball.
The thing is he got drafted though. He was like the 50th pick or something like that. I think Tyron is better than Jordan Bone.
Tyron, I think, is an early second-round pick this year.
I think it depends on how he plays.
Really well,
I think if he plays really
he's
well,
a first-round pick for sure.
I agree.
But I think at this pace, second-round pick for sure.
Sure.
Like, the dude is landing an NBA contract.
I agree.
And that's a win.
I fully agree. I'm excited to see our basketball team play. I think there's a chance that we could be a decent contender.
I think if things go well, we win a tournament game.
Dude, if Liam had one more year,
I'd cry. If Liam could stay healthy, because if he had another year, he'd only play half the season, and that's the reality of it. If the dude hasn't played a full season in like 4 years.
Let me rephrase. If Liam had another year and he was healthy, I would consider us championship contenders.
If Liam played a full season for us, he is possibly the SEC Player of the Year.
Yep,
He's the SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Definitely.
He's in contention for the big awards. Naismith Player of the Year. I don't remember who they named the center award for, but it's the award for the best center in the league. He's up there. He's putting up 25 a game, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks.
Good 3-point
shooting. We're winning the SEC tournament. We're going and winning 2-3 games in the tournament.
I mean, I would consider us legitimate
title contenders
if Liam was still here.
Yeah. This year, if we had a healthy Liam Robbins.
Like, absolutely no disrespect to who I'm about to name. But with the depth that we have through our transfers this year, we will never have to play a guy like Emmanuel Ansong ever again. And I love Emmanuel Ansong, right? But he shouldn't be playing the SEC. He didn't do very well at his last school. He walked onto our team because he transferred here.
To school?
No, I didn't.
He went to University of Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Okay, sure. But he didn't put up crazy numbers there. The thing is Emmanuel Ansong is the perfect building block of a team.
Yeah.
He was a hustle guy. He did all the things that
he's a little spark plug,
Yeah.
You pop him in off the bench, he's got energy, he's got bounce, he's got physicality. He's putting in some buckets for you,
Yeah.
You're not going to count on him.
No.
You're going to put him in and go. We're at a stage where we shouldn't need that.
No, we don't.
We've got guys that'll play ball.
We have genuine talent now.
Yeah.
And not to say that makes me sound like I'm really dogging him out.
Like, but he's not talented. He's good at ball.
He has the highest vertical I've ever seen.
Some
Bro
of the dunks he's done, especially like pregame.
in warm up, yeah, like we were watching him and we're
crazy.
No, and
he's one of the more gifted.
And he looks like a really nice. He's always laughing and like
Yeah, I
joking
know.
around with people. Like, he looks. I'm not dogging
And
on Emmanuel.
He didn't come here to play ball.
No, he came here to be.
He went here and tried out.
Yeah. Like
And now he got his degree and he's doing whatever he wants.
But like imagine
Emmanuel
Emmanuel Ansong goes to like Kentucky.
The boy is not dreaming of minutes.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like we're getting to that level of talent.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Because
wins,
like even if it's not
coming
this year,
and wins are following.
The fact is we're getting really talented freshmen to come on campus. There was actually a guy that I think he might have either committed to Vandy. He's from the Nashville area, and I think like 24/7 Sports has like a 98 composite grade.
I really
on him.
enjoy how well we've done in the state of Tennessee with guys.
I agree.
Like that's really Tennessee has a lot of good high school basketball players, and we got the #1 Tennessee basketball player in Isaiah West. We're getting these good players from the Nashville area. It's like a commitment to our community almost, you know, like by hiring Clark Lee, who's from Nashville. I think Candace Lee's from Nashville.
So we got a guy committed. His name is Micah Robinson, and he is a 4-star across the board with On3 having him as a 93 overall. He's from Texas. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He's the 4th overall player in the state of Texas. Nationally 86th overall.
Top 100 players, maybe.
Yeah, he's the 3rd. He plays small forward, which is pretty much our position of need right now.
Yeah.
He's really good and like very talented, and we're getting consistent players like that.
Yeah.
And that's what's I think very important for our program.
Do you know who was really good for what we were at the time? Miles Studi.
Oh, I agree.
For what we were and what we needed, he did phenomenally for so long. We're at a different stage now where it just
He was just getting out minutes by Colin Smith.
Yeah, him playing ball for us isn't as
The thing is, I think
good leading to success. But for what he was that energy dude that people loved. He put in his points. He talked smack. He hyped up the crowd. For a team that's only going to win so many games, a guy like that keeps the game interesting and is so fun. We're at a point where people go to ball games because we win now. People went to ball games because like we could win, and Miles Studi can play, you know? And it's fun to watch him play ball.
And I wish him all the
aged
best in South
past that.
Carolina.
He's at South Carolina? Okay.
I
I wish him the best.
The thing is,
I don't know why you would ever, of all of the schools, choose to play for South Carolina in any aspect except women's basketball. There's no draw in my mind. To South Carolina?
I think, have you ever seen their football stadium?
No.
It's gorgeous.
Really?
It is, it's not like I know you've
Counterpoint, it's in South Carolina. And you're
like
going to the University of South Carolina.
I think South Carolina is a beautiful state.
I'm sure it is. Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina, no?
Yeah, but Myrtle Beach is kind of...
People like Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
because
been.
they've
I don't know
never
what it
been to
looks
good
like.
beaches.
What's a good beach?
Different beaches in Florida. Like Keys and the Keys, it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Virginia Beach is
I'm
gorgeous.
sure I want to go to Virginia. Virginia's one of the places where I'm like,
There
I like
are
that in concept.
there are just better beaches than Myrtle Beach, but we'll discuss that later.
It was like the go-to for my community in high school. So like everyone was like, Myrtle Beach,
No,
baby.
that's why
And
it's
I'm
not
like, cool.
good. It's because everybody goes.
Everybody
and
from
then
Todd County goes.
Not only is it
Disrespect.
the thing is like everybody in East Tennessee also goes to Myrtle Beach.
That's what's tricky about it.
Like everybody that's in like a 200-mile radius of Myrtle Beach is like.
It's like it's like the Nike
Yeah.
stuff where it's like they
Well, I
definitely
still
don't
like
have the
Nike.
best shoes in some ways, but they're the name brand.
Yeah. Anyway,
Everyone knows them.
But the
It's like
point,
shopping at Kroger.
I think Miles Studi could be a really good backup for us.
Oh, for sure. That's not what he wants.
No, which
That's
is
not what
fair.
he's going after,
Like
which
he
is-
wants to play basketball at the next level, which he has the build to do. If he can just be a 3-and-D player, that's very valuable in the NBA. And I think
If he goes elsewhere, it could lead him to that a lot better than we can.
yes,
For
and
what we have,
he wasn't going to be our starter next year.
no.
And if you're not the starter on a team as a senior, you're probably not going to get in the NBA.
You can tell by the way that we have people play ball who we're committing to
Yeah.
And who's probably not going to play for us.
Like, he was
when
getting...
you look at the way that we had him playing versus the things we had Colin Smith doing, Colin Smith is making pro moves. He's getting the ball a lot more often.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like,
he's
we
getting
kick
more
the ball
minutes.
to, you know, Miles Studi, and he hits his little three. He misses his little three. Like, Colin Smith, we're saying, okay, make a play. You know?
Yeah.
Miles Studi's there to shoot and make some points. We're asking Colin to make a play.
If I ever saw Miles Studi dribble, it was a bad day.
That's it. That's
Like-
the thing. Like, Miles Studi's like a taller Klay Thompson, and that all he does is kind of just shoot his little jump shot,
Yeah.
play his little defense, and call it a day. There's a reason Klay Thompson only took, 11 dribbles to hit 60 points?
Yeah.
The boy doesn't dribble the ball. Miles Studi doesn't dribble the ball.
He
And
shouldn't
he's good at shooting.
dribble the ball.
He shouldn't. Well, when you're like 6'8", it takes a while, you know. Get the ball up and down, it's a little trickier.
Anyway, but so I think our basketball team's going to be very good.
I'd say so.
I'm going to reserve baseball judgment until after we see the exhibition games, though I think we will be very good. I think our pitching is going to be the best that we've seen at Vandy.
Oh, that's tough to say, boy.
No, I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to stand by the fact that I think our pitching, top to bottom, will be the best that we have seen at Vandy.
It beats the Kumar, Jack, the
Name-
Law.
Name someone else. I can name everybody on that team.
Everybody on that team. Who is our third string first baseman?
I can name the majority of the pitchers that played.
On that pitching stuff, we had McIlvain when he was good.
He wasn't that great. That was before McIlvain was a starter. That was when he was in the bullpen, and he was fine.
We had Murphy, McIlvain,
And Maldonado.
And Maldonado.
Yes.
All of which
We had...
were in their relieving prime. Except Maldo. Maldo did better.
Okay, but we had the 5 pitchers that I trusted, and there were only 5 on that roster,
Yeah.
was Jack, Kumar, Maldonado, Murphy, McIlvain.
Yeah.
This year, we have Carter Holt, Devin Fitzgerald, Andrew Nick Canch, Bryce Cunningham. Who was our third day starter? Who was our third day starter last year?
Hunter.
No, Hunter was today too.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'll just start naming bullpen guys. David Horn, who I genuinely trust with all of my heart. We have, oh gosh, I don't remember our freshman pitchers that are coming in. I'm sorry. I had this on lock like 2 weeks ago, if you remember. I went through like all our pitchers.
You did, yeah.
But I'm blanking because I'm on a podcast. But,
The light's too bright.
yeah, really.
Allergic to making a play.
But it's people that I genuinely trust. When we threw in another guy, Pat Riley. No, yeah, Pat Riley. Wait, no, I think he got drafted. Oh, this is 22, 22, 23 here, but I'll be fine. Ryan Ginther. JD Thompson. We don't have him. Sam Leboki. Michael Doolin.
Michael Doolin? You trust Michael Doolin?
I was just saying.
Okay. Not to disrespect Michael Doolin, but...
Grayson Carter.
Yeah, he's good.
And like, that's without the freshmen that we have coming in.
Yeah.
That's like 8 or 9 guys that I just named.
We always have like that patented freshman who's a dog.
Right. So like realistically, we could have 10 guys that are good.
It was what? Enrique, Carter, Andrew.
Chris Maldonado.
Yeah, Chris Maldonado. We always just get a guy who performs.
Like,
produces.
But so while those, like for instance, I think both Holton and Fitzgerald and potentially even Canch are going to be first round picks this year. None of them are going to be like 2 and 10.
No, none of them touch the level of Jack Leiter
or Kumar
Rocker.
But
you just said like 7 guys who I'm like, they get to the mound, and I'm not saying let's pack it up, you know?
I'm saying...
I'm not already on my way to the Windies.
The thing is each one of those guys that I just named, I'm trusting for at least 3 innings.
Yeah. That
so,
is a big thing, too, is how long they succeed.
Right. So, like, that's 21 innings of just pure trust.
Yep.
And that's without saying that the starters are probably going to go closer to 5-6.
Yep.
And, I mean, like, I don't know
you
what
only
else
got to play 27 on a weekend.
Right.
You're at 21.
Yeah, and that's like Bryce Cunningham was the MVP of the Cape Cod League.
Cape Cod League, yeah.
Like
That's big. Cape Cod is
David
where they
Horn was the MVP of the NECBL this year.
You just had all those letters like
It's a second
on deck. Okay.
Yeah. Like the thing is like all of our pitchers. I think I would trust Bryce Cunningham. I don't even know if he's going to be our starter this year. He might be like our midweek, but like I trust him to go 5-6.
Yeah.
You know, Leboki showed he goes 3.
Yep.
Horn showed he goes 3. Grayson Carter, he didn't even play last year. Touches 100 if he can get that command in, which I think he can, and he did this summer in summer ball. Like I genuinely believe we could have the best top-down pitching staff that there's ever been in college baseball.
Do you think if I went to a summer ball league, like the Cape Cod League, and like crafted like a fake persona and like the coaches were in on it, that I could trick players for like one game that like I'm an actual ball player? If I'm like, oh yeah, I go to the University of Minnesota, you know, and then I just like go 0 for 4.
Do you play?
I do play. I go
Where
like
do you
0
play?
for 4 and I play like second maybe. I don't know, third.
You would.
No, I play right field. I'll play right field.
The thing is, I fully believe that you could. I think that if the coaches were in on it, you could realistically trick them up until you stepped on the field.
Yeah, because I can get to the mound, or not the mound, the plate, rather. I can not get to the mound.
Let me rephrase.
I can get to the plate, and I can, like, do a couple things, and they're like,
I think
his
your
swing mechanics are not great.
Yeah, I think your swing alone would be like, he's not a college baseball player.
Nah, dude, I've got my swing down packed.
I've watched your swing.
No, here's the thing.
It's
Before, that's swinging to hit a ball. When I'm swinging,
what are you going to be
league,
doing from the Cape Cod?
I'm swinging with my absolute, like, perfect, this is what a swing looks like. I'm not thinking about the ball right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to produce a convincing swing of the bat.
But that's going to put you
mechanically.
like 15 miles per hour behind the pitch.
Sure, that is an issue.
Yeah, this guy's going to be pitching 97, and you're going to be like swinging at like
I'm swinging
10
for
seconds
the-
later, and they're going to be like,
It's
hold
what,
on.
Chicken Little?
Yeah.
Where they're like, don't swing. He doesn't swing on the first, and it goes by him for a ball, and then, ooh, and they're like, wait.
Like that would be you. I think you would be able to get in the dugout and be like, maybe say hi, and then the moment that you either stepped on the field and had a ball hit to you, like if you played right field and the ball never went
Let's
there.
say I bat 7,
Bat
and I
7.
play left field, or right field.
How
Right
ma-
field. That's where Cooper, what's his name, played, right?
Cooper Davis.
Yeah.
He played
Cooper
left
Davis.
field.
You played left? I could play left. I play left and bat 7. Do
No,
you think I'm lasting until the 3rd inning?
No.
No? You think they're hitting a ball to me in the 2nd or something, and I'm like,
I think that
I lost it in the sun, and they're like, it's a night game, and I'm like, oh, the moon.
I think
lost
that-
it in the shimmer of your eyes.
I think what would happen genuinely is there would be a ground ball between first and second that you would have to run up and get and throw to second, and they would see you run up and then see the ball go under your glove as the right fielder.
No, I think I could pick up a ball with my glove.
Okay.
Because my issue in the league was that I just had to barehand everything.
I don't
And
mean
so
that,
it would just sneak past me.
but I think that it's so much faster in baseball than you realize.
It would roll up my shoulder, is what would happen.
Well,
I don't know the mechanics of how to put my glove down right, so it would go shoom, and I'd be like, well, now it's in deep left.
But I even think you could block the ball, but getting it in is the issue. Like, I don't think that you would be able to throw it in from right field accurately because it's a lot bigger of a field than I think you realize.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah.
I am
And so
not only
I
making
think
one of the worst velocity outfield throws, but also I'm throwing it to third base accidentally.
I think your best case scenario is that it's such a like a slow
I'm eating
roller
it and then
that you're eating it, and the first baseman is, I'm sorry, not the first baseman, but I think that the runner is like a little fat, like he might be like a DH kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't think he can get second, even though if he did and he tested your arm, like he wouldn't be able to get him out.
Yeah.
I think that's your best case scenario. Because, you know, like sometimes it's like, oh, it's a single, the right fielder just kind of lobs it into second base.
Yeah.
I think you might be able to get away if that happened. But if it doesn't, then like you're kind of screwed.
I think what I would do is I would play it as a judgment call, where they'd just be like, wow, he could have made that throw, you know?
Yeah.
Why did he just eat it? we could have had an out there. So not being like showing off the fact that I am like the least athletic person that's ever graced the facilities.
The thing is, you're not
not even from a player but a fan standpoint as well.
The issue is you're not unathletic. You just have never played baseball.
Yeah. Do you think if I had like a month of training with like Wade Boggs, I could produce a convincing day?
Do you bat?
Yeah. Wade Boggs is one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Yeah, but you're not.
Do you know how Wade Boggs swung though?
No.
You want me to show you?
After the pod.
I'm showing you right now.
Okay.
Wade Boggs.
We don't have anything else to talk about.
One
on
of
this
the best
podcast.
hitters.
But
like the dude's stance was like this.
What era were you in?
The dude played in like the 80s, 90s.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Like, there's about like 50 miles an hour.
Bro went like this and like waved the bat up high and like, and it's like, what in the world? Why is bro standing like that?
The thing is
and why does he have the bat so high?
People are like, Shohei Ohtani's nothing on Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth swung a 2x4 at a 47.5 mile per hour heater from Billy Mudflaps Connaughton. Like, bro hit that like 20-degree launch angle, 20 miles an hour off the plank.
Yeah.
Rolls into center field.
They don't
Chipper
have a fence
McGee
back
is
there.
like, gets under it, and he's like, this is a tomato. He throws it to first. The first baseman is a lamp. Babe Ruth's already at second because
somehow
the ball traveled so slowly.
Lord knows man runs like a 12-second 40. Like he's
he gets
smoking
to the
a cigar.
dugout, smokes a cigar, drinks some bourbon, and slaps his wife. Like, it's Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
He was Italian.
There's
no way the dude played ball well.
I want to see Babe Ruth face a 97 mile per hour changeup from like some of the pitchers
I want
nowadays.
him to see an 80 mile per
He would
hour
shit his
pitch from a
pants.
7-year-old. You put a middle schooler out there, a good middle school ball player.
I don't know.
Babe
High
Ruth
school,
is dying.
High school.
Yeah.
Some of our in the high school track, like some of them are throwing like 98. Like,
Some of the high school players are going top 10 in the draft.
Yeah, like imagine
Get him in a minor league game, and he's like, this is the greatest showing of talent I've seen since the 1904 game between the Reds and the Blues.
and it's a single A like Nantucket versus.
I was in Spokane, Washington, watching the Spokane Indians play like
it's literally
the
low A.
Tri-Cities Dust Devils, which is a real team, by the way.
It's a
very apt for the city.
It's a low A Gatlinburg versus
He's
Guantanamo Bay. Like
that pitcher, you hadn't realized that it was this kind of league. Well, I'll be.
Yeah. So with that being said,
Gee,
I don't know how much more we have for the podcast.
he looks at the bat boy and he's like, you hit cleanup, eh?
Yeah.
That was like, I'm 12.
He's like, when are you gonna change out of your suit and get in the game? I know you had to clock out of your 9 to 5 to come play today, sir.
It's like, I was working the office. He was like, oh, it was phenomenal. Sent some invoices, and he's like, invoices? Is that like with the typewriter? It's like, hold on, I gotta stow away my abacus. I also do taxes in my...
Oh, God.
Babe Ruth, if he didn't play ball, he'd be the dude in the bodega making sandwiches. That's legitimately his backup career plan. And she's like, hey, you want meatballs on
He's
that?
like, hey.
And they're like, I asked for turkey. He's like, you getting meatballs.
I'm Babe Ruth. This is Babe Ruth's bodega.
This is the Babe Ruth sandwich. I got meatballs. I got salami.
I got
We
meatballs.
get the mozzarella. We got more meatballs.
We get the
I
mods.
put it in there. I slap you across the face and tell you to get out of here.
Oh, God.
Hey, pariacho. Gonna get you a sandwich.
They're like, hey, let me tell you about one Bobby two-time tractor Johnson. Like,
Hey, I was at the ballpark the other week. I saw Bobby Salami. His last name's Salami. He goes by Salami.
it's a weird middle name.
Is the
Last
thing.
name, make sure.
The dude was on the mound off of crack.
He threw
67
miles.
miles an hour. I got it myself.
Baddest ball I've ever
I
seen in
got
my
it
life.
myself. I thought the ball. I didn't even see it. You know. I saw the instant replay on the little kids who were imitating it down below the benches. You know.
On the bleachers.
the bleachers. Those kids that go hard during like football games.
Yes. I saw it out there past Old Man Ryder's fence, who lives right behind the ballpark.
It was tricky though, because in the third inning, you know,
The cows got loose. Got onto the
Miss
field.
Wilson opened up a window to cool a pie, and all the players went and took it.
All the
We had to
players
stop
lifted
the
up
game.
3 feet off the ground.
We flew on over there like cartoons. It's weird because then I had to be in another lame movie about some kid who's terrible at baseball because for some reason I'm in those. I'm Babe Ruth, by the way.
Babe Ruth, I say.
If you talk to Babe Ruth, I feel like he would like.
I think he put out a cigar on my face. Like,
You're like, hello, Mr. Ruth. You're like, okay, so you want to give my coat too? And you're like, huh? I'm the one who brought you forward in time.
speaking of old players that I don't believe were that good, I don't believe a thing about Wilt Chamberlain.
Did you know he had hundreds of children?
I don't
Do you
believe
that?
you.
No.
I don't believe
Have
it.
you seen Otto Porter?
People are like, he's slept with 10,000.
It was 22,000.
I don't believe it. I'm telling you,
Those stats are insane.
I don't believe it. They're like,
Bro
he
is
scored
patient zero for
Dude,
everything.
He is the basketball equivalent of I have a girlfriend that goes to a different school you would never. They're like, he had a 100-point
He's like,
game.
yeah, I put up
we
100.
have no footage.
My proof is that I wrote it on a piece of paper.
Like, they're
You
like
got the worst photo.
they're sitting here and they're like, here we are against Cat Scratch Johnson. And then he's like, Cat Scratch Johnson has said this is his 97th point. It might be the first quarter without a 3-point line, but who are we to say? Like, what do you mean?
We fell asleep during the game, and the statistician's papers disappear for a
All
bit.
of like the box score people who had to like hand write them all were also like different. I think they talk about like they had a different amount of points on all of them. Like it's not
It's
real.
a bunch of people going in there and saying, yeah, I think that was him. That was a 2.
They're like,
Add that to the chalkboard. You know, I wasn't counting before. I also went and got a hot dog.
yeah, like they're
I
like,
also like to imagine they're all Italian.
yeah.
And that's why the league sucked. Is that it's just these dudes who are like, shoot, is that the Stromboli going by?
the cannoli, please. Like, but they're like, he benched 500 pounds. Did you see the man? There is no chance he benched 500.
The boy weighed approximately a moist towelette.
Like, he is like lankiest. I believe he was tall. I believe that he had scoring ability. I would believe he put up 70 in a game.
I would too.
But 100?
Here's the thing that we gotta understand. He's 7 feet tall and athletic.
And
He's playing against, like, think of Jordan's competition.
I'm hearing you. I understand
Then
he's playing
make
against
them
literal
shorter,
garbage cans.
wider, and like
Less athletic.
They don't play ball.
No, I'm
They're
hearing
not
you.
about that life.
But okay, he would at the
Imagine
very minimum,
taking, like-
he would have to go 50 for 50.
Imagine the equivalent of like Giannis going to an LA Fitness during like elderly hour.
I'm hearing you. I understand what you're saying. With that being said, he's not putting up. He has to put up more than 50 shots, assuming that he didn't score all of them. Lord knows he couldn't make a free throw to save his life.
I think they had stats like broken down where it was like he took this many shots. He shot like 75. He made like
I don't
20
believe
points
it.
from the line. They had to make a
No,
rule.
he
So
didn't.
What he would do is he would go to the free throw line and he'd jump and dunk the ball. And so they said, you can't do that. You have to shoot it from the line. Because he could jump from a standing position and just lay the ball up from the free throw line every time. And they got mad.
I don't.
They're like, I've never seen such unorthodox play from one of them before. That's what it was.
I know.
This is basketball.
But, like,
in the 60s.
The thing, I don't believe anything about Wilt Chamberlain. I don't believe Babe Ruth would be an all-star today.
I believe Babe Ruth wouldn't touch the minors. Whoa! Hold on. I believe you would do that. I believe he would not make the minor league.
Okay,
he couldn't play in the Cape Cod.
Well,
He couldn't try out for the Bowling Green Hot Rods.
I think he's better than that. But I think he would like, people are like, it's all about era. He'd like adapt to the. No, he wouldn't.
He would not adapt to the era. He was a fat, weird-looking dude who had no ability except that he could hit a nice little, fly ball.
I think that if you could
to what would be center field off a 75-mile-per-hour fastball.
But I think if you can do that, you could probably touch minors. But I don't like. With that being said, I think that's how we're gonna end the episode today. On that high note.
Hey, his modern golf.
Why did you start with the Italian accent?
His modern golf.
Is Wander Franco. With that being said, this has been Show Em The Dore, all the way from the Curve Center Studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. We will see you all next week, maybe with a guest, maybe not. I'm gonna have to determine that based on my DMs. Ruth. He's coming back in his ghostly form from The Sandlot, where he's like, "But legends never die." This is us actually signing off. Bye.